Welcome to another Spot On Chat. I'm Rebecca Monet with Zorakle Profiles. Zorakle provides profiling tools for franchisors and franchise consultants that help facilitate a right fit between a prospective franchisee and a franchise concept. My guest today is Amy Reed. Amy is the co-founder and co-owner of Woofie's Mobile Pet Spa, and Woofie's Pet Ventures, all of which are based in Ashburn, Virginia. Welcome to the show. It's so nice to have you.
Thank you for having me.
This is going to be so much fun. I love these get-togethers, these spot-on chats, because I get to more intimately know my guests and kind of probe you for more data, more information. So one of the questions I had for you, I noticed you are a graduate of Notre Dame. This is a pretty famous university. And when I heard that, I'm like, I got to know more. So tell me the Notre Dame story.
Sure, thanks. Notre Dame is near and dear to my heart and everyone in my family. My dad and my mom actually met there. My dad was at Notre Dame, my mom was at St. Mary's, and they met. And my two older brothers went to Notre Dame. One of my sister-in-laws went to Notre Dame. I had a great cousin go to Notre Dame and a great uncle. So, and one of my cousins went to St. Mary's for a while. So it's our family. Notre Dame, I grew up with it. And it's just a very special place to everyone in my family.
Yeah. So you went because it was kind of a family legacy. You didn't think about going off the beaten track and going a different direction. I mean, I guess I would have saw you as a rebel just a little bit, but you chose Notre Dame, never thought about going elsewhere?
Actually, I was very close to going to Boston College. I knew the soccer coach. I had played soccer year-round growing up, and I got into Boston College, went to visit. I love the campus, and I was very close to signing on and going there, and I would have loved it. Boston College is an amazing school. I love Boston, the city. It would have been a great experience. But once I got into Notre Dame, it just was one of those light bulbs that went off. It just was kind of a no-brainer. I think Boston College would have been incredible, but just Notre Dame was my home. And I did want to go just to do something different to Boston College, but at the end of the day, Notre Dame was the right fit for me.
So yeah, so no regrets there. It's like Notre Dame runs in your DNA almost. Oh my goodness. So your adventures at Notre Dame, what did you end up studying? What kind of adventures did you have? Did you end up playing soccer there also, or what ended up happening?
Yeah, I just played club soccer. By the time I did go to college, I wanted to enjoy the college experience. And during my 4 years, I graduated in '94. Lou Holtz was a coach, and Notre Dame was incredible. And obviously, there's not a whole lot else to do in South Bend. But I was very fortunate to go to Notre Dame when their football team was incredible. And that was a lot of fun. And I was, as far as studying, I was a sociology major. My plan at the time was to go to law school after college, and I was very interested in criminal law. But by the end of college, I was kind of done with school. I wanted to go out on my own. I wanted to earn my own money, and I didn't want to be saddled with law school debt and 3 more years of school. So,
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. And you're so entrepreneurial anyway. The idea of locking your time up for another 3 years rather than going out and venturing into the business world. Lou Holtz is an incredible leader and has left an incredible legacy behind him. Did he have any influence in your life, or was it just kind of a feeling around the campus at that time?
Definitely was a strong feeling around the campus. Lou Holtz did not mess around. He's this sweet little looking guy, but he's tough as nails. I can remember he was a guest speaker in one of my marketing classes, and one of the football players that was in the class showed up a few minutes late, and even just the look he gave that player, everybody was taken aback. And he's tough. He expects a lot out of people, but he's one of the most inspirational people I've ever heard. I had the opportunity to meet him several times when I was at college. And I actually just saw him, I think it was 2 weeks ago. He was in DC to receive an award from the White House. And I ran into him when he was at brunch the next day. And it was so cool. I spent about 20 minutes with him. He was so gracious and so kind. We were talking about Notre Dame, and it was really sweet. He lost his wife about
Mhm.
6, 7 weeks ago, and she's buried at Notre Dame. And my mother's buried at Notre Dame. She passed away 5 years ago this summer. And he was so compassionate and kind, and we had that mutual bond. And it was a really great meeting with him. I feel very fortunate I was able to run into him and spend that time with him. He was really gracious.
Yeah. What a great leader. Like you said, this tender side of him, compassion and empathy, but also toughness
Yes,
in a world that really needs both, right? We need
absolutely.
clarity and focus, but we also need to have heart. And to be candid, what I know about you, Amy, you're much like that, right? You're very direct and very focused, but you also have the heart decisive Texas. So it's this wonderful, delicate balance that you possess of heart, and head, which is we got to make a profit, we got to grow, we got to, implement this process or whatever it is. You're very direct that way.
Thank you. Well, growing up with two brothers, you also learn to be very direct and make your point well known.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I want to invite you back for a spot on chat where we talk just about your brothers because they sound very fascinating.
I love that.
All right. Well, thank you for this time, Amy. I appreciate it. And we'll have you back on another spot on chat.
Thank you, Rebecca.